Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cheyenne Ashley if you are new here. If not, thanks for tuning in again. I feel like I never introduced myself, so yes, that is my name. Today is a get ready with me using mostly new products. Some are new, and then some are new to me. I pretty much have a full face of newish products, and yeah, I pretty much just got out of bed. I took my hair out of braids. It looks a little crazy, but we'll see what we can do with it. And brush my teeth, wash my face, and that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Anything that could have gone wrong this morning has. I've knocked over my lighting, I've knocked over my laptop, I've knocked over my products. So yeah, we'll see how this goes and hope it makes it to my channel. I'm not going to go super in-depth into every product since this is a get ready with me. If you guys want to see something more in depth, let me know, but I'm not going to be going over like pricing, packaging, shade rate, everything of everything. But yeah, so let's just get started. To prep my skin, actually, you know what, there was one thing I wanted to talk about before I prep my skin. Okay, so first things first, I wanted to talk about really quick is a collagen powder that I put into my coffee. And that's just usually how I start my day, unless I go to Starbucks or something like that. But when I make my own coffee in the morning, I do put this pure hydrolyzed collagen peptide, like protein powder in my coffee. It's supposed to help with joint health, skin, hair growth, all of that good stuff. Next, the way that I've been prepping my skin is using the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair. This is not new, but this is new to me. It is called Cosmetica. I ordered this off of Amazon, and it's just a pure hyaluronic acid serum. So I've just been mixing the two of these, just kind of thin this out a little bit. So I just kind of droppered some of each into my palms, and then I've just been going like this. And smoothing it all over, even my eyes, under my eyes, eyelids, everything. Hyaluronic acid really helps your skin to retain moisture, but it's not anything too heavy, so even though I am like normal combo oily, I'm not super dry, it just feels really nice and lightweight on the skin, so that's why I've been liking to prep with that lately. And I have really been liking that Cosmetica serum. Again, I love the Advanced Night Repair, but I sometimes find it's a little thick and sticky for me, so I like to thin it out with that. So next, this product I have not used yet, but I have been super excited to try. It is the new Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. They did come out with a concealer, which was supposed to be a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, and I think I'm one of the few that actually did not love that concealer. I don't know why. For me, it just didn't work out. It was just kind of creasy, and I did not love the concealer. But I've seen a few people that did not like the concealer that have really been loving the foundation. It is supposed to be a semi-matte finish. It retails for $12 or $12.99, I think. You can get it at Ulta or Revolution Cosmetics, whatever their website is. I can link everything down below. And it comes in 24 shades, which is a really good shade range. I bought mine in the shade F6, which I have a feeling is going to be too dark. But F6 looked lighter than F5, so picking out a shade was a little confusing to do online. Yeah, this is going to be a little dark. But I was really confused. I was trying to compare what people were reviewing online, and I'd be like, oh, they kind of look like my skin tone, they're an F6, and then I'd watch another one, and I'm like, oh, they look like my skin tone, they're an F1. So it was really hard to tell with lighting and stuff like that. You know, trying to compare to other people on the internet. So, obviously, Big Doe Foot Applicator. Oh, the shade actually doesn't look insanely dark. This might work. Okay, it has that kind of like paint smell to it. which a lot of full coverage foundations usually have that smell. And I'm going to use a sponge. I'm using the Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. That's just the way I've been liking my foundation blended out lately. And you know what? This does not look too dark. Yay! Okay. So far, I would say it's like a medium to full coverage. And it looks pretty smooth so far. Yeah, this is looking really smooth, like where I usually look really textured. And my face is decently broken out right now, as you guys can probably see. And then just for the sake of showing you guys as many products as possible, you know what, I will do the other side with a brush. This is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe collection, the JH03. And we'll see how we like it with a brush. Dropping everything. Oh my god. I need a better like setup table-wise. I mean, it looks it looks pretty similar with a brush. I can't really decide which side I like better. Which on my laptop camera, I feel like this side's looking smoother, but in real life I feel like this side's looking smoother. So that's a little confusing. Okay, so far I like the foundation. I don't know if I'm like in love with it, but I like it. And now there's like crazy light coming through my window. Great. So my lighting's probably going to be changing on you a few times. Sorry. I'm trying to like... It's just going to be what it is. Yeah, I like it. I don't know. I think it looks good. It's definitely matte. I think if you are dry, you will not like this. Now this is a product not new, but this is new to me. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Powder. This can be used alone as a powder foundation, but I am just going to lightly set my face all over just for some additional coverage. And we are going to use, where's my powder brush? There it is. This is the JH01. It's a big powder brush, and we're just going to use that to apply a light layer. Again, this is like a heavier powder, so I don't need a ton of it on top. Alright, next is the Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Concealer. This is from Estee Lauder as well. Again, not new, just new to me. I promise we're getting to some newness in a little bit. But I've really been liking this concealer a lot. It does not give as much coverage as my Tarte Shape Tape, don't get me wrong. But this gives me probably the smoothest under eyes that I've ever had from any concealer. So I'm willing to let go of a tiny bit of coverage if that means my under eye is looking really smooth. Okay, so now that our concealer is blended out, I am just going to set it with some Too Faced Born This Way powder. I'm just going to like bake for like literally just a few seconds, so I'm just going to pile on the powder. And I'm really not going to let it sit long, and then I'm just going to brush it away. I'm going to brush it away with the JH07, which is just like a little tapered powder brush. Next, I am going to go in with some bronzer. And this is going to be Bronze Goddess. This is another Estee Lauder product that I have been trying and really, really liking. So I am going to take, this is probably my favorite brush out of the whole Jaclyn Hill collection, the JH02. This is really good just for really bronzing up the entire face. Obviously not for contouring, but it gives you a really nice forehead bronziness, because I feel like it just kind of, because it's so big, it just blends everything out. Then with the Jaclyn Hill JH05, I am going to just take a little bit more. This is a more precise brush, and I'm going to use the same product for today. I don't usually use it. Usually I go in with something a little more like neutral tone, but this is a get ready with me, and I can do what I want. Okay, so now that we have some color to the face, now, oh shit. Okay, this is a newish product. It's been out for a while on Morphe's website, but Ulta just got them. This is the Morphe blush palette. I got the Cool Pro, so the 8C. This has the more cool pinky undertones. Those are the blushes that I tend to gravitate towards. I am going to mix the shade It Girl and Free. So these two right here. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not blown away by this blush palette. I'm much like the Anastasia, I forget what it's called. Is it called like Radiance or something? It's the quad of blushes. I much like that better, but I mean, this works. I'm just not in love with it. I don't feel like the product shows up super well, but it's okay. There's a lot of products here that I've had for a little bit and I've just not gotten the chance to talk about on my channel, so I really just want to make sure I've talked about them. Okay, just disappear out of frame. There's a lot of products that I just haven't gotten to talk about and I really wanted to talk about them, and I figured the best way to talk about a lot of products in one video is to just do a get ready with me. Next, I am going to highlight with the Morphe highlighter in the shade Lit. Again, this is new-ish, not super new. And again, it's an okay product. Honestly, I'm not like super happy I bought it, to be honest. I don't think it's a great highlighter. It's just okay. It looks pretty textured and kind of muddy in person, but it shows up okay on camera. Okay, next product is pretty darn new, and it is the IT Brow Power Powder. Now, I've really been liking to fill my eyebrows in with powder lately, It's not as precise as a pencil, unfortunately, but I feel like sometimes with the pencil, I feel like I'm ripping out brow hairs. Does anybody else feel like that? Even if I go really gentle, or sometimes I'll even go up a shade in the pencil so I don't have to push hard, I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes it's thinning out my brows. So I have switched to a powder recently, and I've really been liking this one. So this is their Universal Transforming Taupe. It says Universal. I know with their Universal Taupe pencil, it's pressure-based, so the harder you push, the darker of a color you can get. This, I don't really know how this could be universal, but if you have light to medium brows, I feel like you would really like this. And I've just been filling them in with an angled brush. This is the Anastasia number 12. Number 12. The next product, I think it's going to be the next product, yeah, that I'm going to talk about, I had been super excited for, but I've used it twice and was really, really disappointed. But the 2 times I used it, I was like in a super duper hurry. So I'm hoping it has something to do with that. So I'm going to really try to make this next product work. It's the Morphe Boss Mood palette, which I thought was a really beautiful palette, but the last few times I used it, it wasn't working out. So we'll see what we can do today. Alright, so if you're watching this video and you see that I look a little different than I did, like, 10 seconds ago, that's because we're on a completely different day. I had filmed an entire video, and well, half of it, the half that you guys have just watched, was filmed, and the other half, I don't know really. I was going to say I don't know what happened, but I do know what happened. There was not enough storage, and my computer didn't really alert me that it wasn't filming. So, here we are to film the second half, again. Well, for me, again. And yeah, I just did all the steps, again, that you guys just saw. And so I'm caught right back up to where I was. I was filling in my brows with, where is it? So I was in the middle of filling in my brows when the video stopped, aka ran out of storage. Like I said, that was not a good day. The whole day was like that. So I was in the middle of filling them in with the IT Brow Power. Now they're filled in. I am caught up. And I was in the middle of saying, I think I said already that I really liked this product. I don't remember, but now you guys know. I was in the middle of saying, though, that the next product I was about to use, which was this, the Boss Mood palette from Morphe, the 35M, I was saying how I was really, really excited for this palette. For me, this is one of the most aesthetically pleasing palettes that I've seen in a long time. I love the color scheme to this. Love it. The first 2 times I had ever used it, I was kind of in a rush, and I felt like I was not loving the palette. But the 3rd time I used it was when I was originally filming this video, and so I put more time into it, and well, we'll go through it again. The first 2 times when I was in a rush, which I'm trying not to judge hardly on those 2 times, I felt like the colors were very, they look very bold in the pan, but I feel like they were going on very watered down. I felt as though colors that had, enough contrast between them, like these and these, especially like these 2, I felt like you weren't seeing the colors build on top of each other because they were going on so sheer. So I'm going to go through again. This will now be my 4th time trying it, and I will give you my thoughts as I go. You're going to see that some of my brushes do look dirty, but it is from when I filmed this, so they are the colors that I'm about to use, so it really should not affect anything. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the JH31, And I'm going to go in with this cranberry shade right down here. Now, when I wore this the other day, I did get compliments on it. I'm not saying that this palette's terrible or anything like that. I'm just saying it goes on very sheer. They're not patchy or chalky or anything like that. It's just the pigment to me is not as good as the Jaclyn Hill Morphe shadows. I know that's not a popular opinion and that most people don't love the Vault, but a lot of people love the original Jaclyn Hill palette. I personally love both. I had no issues with the Vault. I do have a whole video on that. I thought the pigment on those was really good, and I feel like this just looks so sheer, even though I'm building up the color. Now, since this is a transition shade, I don't mind that it's super sheer, but what I've been having issues with, which you might see in a minute unless I have a better experience this time with it for some reason, that even when I start going in with a deeper shade in the crease, it doesn't really build up, and you don't get that gradient. I'm going in with quite a bit of product each time, and I'm still not getting the biggest color payoff, and like I said, this is what I'm using as my transition shade in this look, so I'm not super upset that it's sheer, but we'll see again if I have a hard time building up color in the crease. Alright, so that's where I'm going to leave that. I'm actually going to stay with the same brush, and I'm going to go in with this middle shade right here, which should appear a little bit deeper, but the last few times I've tried it, that's not really what's happened. Like I said, not horrible, but I'm just not getting that buildup of color in the crease. And I have tried this palette with other brushes than the Jaclyn Hill Morphe ones. I'm just going to jump in right with this deep shade, because if that doesn't build up some color in the crease, I don't really know what will. That's doing it a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see. Like, I mean, I'm going in, and this is a dark shade. I just expect it to show up more than it is. I mean, I'm going in with quite a bit. And that did bring some depth. Again, just not really what I've been expecting with this palette. Definitely the best I've achieved with this so far. I guess, I don't know, the Jaclyn Hill palette, Jaclyn Hill Vault, I feel like they get such a bad rap, and I don't feel like the original normal Morphe formula is better. So I guess that's just where I'm a little confused. I was expecting more out of this, I guess. I have the 350M, the 350S, the Bronzed Mocha palette, the Jaclyn Hill Vault, and now this, and the 9C, the smaller 9 shade palette, and I still feel like the Jaclyn Hill ones are the best quality out of all of them, which is what most people complain about. So I'm just confused. I was expecting, you know, people always say, oh, those aren't the best Morphe quality, but I think they are. I don't get as much out of these. Alright, so now I'm going in with this little, like, smudger brush. It's the Jaclyn Hill 38, and, whoa, my robe is, like, busting open. I'm going to take that first shade again and just buff it on my under eye. If you're new to watching my videos, I don't personally like to put a lot on my lower lash line, so I'm just going to keep it just like that. Now, I tried to use this orange shade the other day. I tried it on a brush, I tried it with my finger, and it was just super crumbly. So let me just see how it swatches. It's just so sheer. I'm just so confused. Ugh. But anyway, the other day when I filmed this look originally, I had gone in with this gold shade. I tried to use a brush, which I will show you again, see if I can get it to work. I used the JH41, so that's what I'm going to try again. No, I'm not cutting the crease. No, I'm not spraying the brush. I know that all of that would intensify any shadow, so I'm not judging, you know, saying that it should look that pigmented, but I mean, I'm like digging in. And it's just like nothing's really happening. And that's what was happening the other day when I filmed this. So I went in with my finger and got much better payoff, I will say. So that shade is pretty beautiful with using your finger. Now I've tried that orange shade I was showing you and I couldn't get it to work like this even with my finger. I'm going to go back in with the JH37 and just try to build that crease a little bit more and kind of clean it up from the shimmer. Alright, so that's where I'm going to end with the shadow. Again, this is probably the best I've gotten these shadows to work. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's not a terrible palette. I'm just a little disappointed because with this color scheme, I was super blown away and really excited to try this. And I don't know, it just didn't perform as well as I was hoping. But I kind of feel that way about the blush and the highlighter that I showed you guys too. And on that note, there was another highlighter that I've been using and trying out. So I wanted to show you guys that one. That is the Pure Minerals Afterglow highlighter. My brushes are everywhere. Let me just try to find one, and I will show you guys this one on top of the Lit highlighter from Morphe that I already have on. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys Pure Minerals Afterglow, which is really pretty. I would say out of the things that I've been trying out lately, this is probably one of my favorite highlighters that I've used. I do like it much more than the Morphe one that I showed you guys. I feel like this one is just really pretty, really blinding. It's like that champagne-y gold, this one right here. So, I do really like that one, just so you guys know. Next, I am going to go put on some liner. I'm going to do that off camera just because I have to be right in the mirror to do it. But this is a new one that I've been trying, and it's the NYX Epic Ink Liner. I can't talk this morning. NYX Epic Ink, say that 10 times fast. NYX Epic Ink Liner. So I'm going to go apply this off camera. It's a little brush tip. I'm usually used to the felt tips, but I actually do really like this one, so I'll be right back with that in just a moment. Alright, so I'm back with my liner. Again, this is the NYX Epic Ink Liquid Liner. And I've used this a few times already. I've really been liking it. It is very black. It is waterproof. I haven't noticed it smudging or anything like that. So I really, really like it. Next, I'm going to go in with the NARS Climax Mascara. I've really been liking this product too. It's not like my new Holy Grail. It has a brush very similar in the sense that it's like a big, fluffier brush like the Too Faced Better Than Sex, which that is my favorite mascara, but this is like a little bit drier of a formula, so if you don't like the Too Faced one because you think it's like too wet of a formula, you might like this, but I kind of like that about the Too Faced mascara. But this one does give very buildable volume, so I think it's worth a try. Again, it's not my Holy Grail, but I like it. I feel like sometimes on the internet, not sometimes, a lot of times, people can have like really strong opinions, and that's okay, but sometimes it doesn't have to be that you love something, it's your new Holy Grail, or I absolutely hate it, it's terrible. Sometimes you can just like something or think it's okay. There's nothing wrong with loving a product or really disliking a product. I'm just saying I feel like sometimes even when I'm reviewing something or just right now with this, I'm like, is it okay to just say that it's alright? And it is. It is okay to say that. That's your opinion, how you feel on it. Alright, there we are with liner, mascara, and then the last thing that I have to show you guys are a few lipsticks. 1 minute. I have everything on the ground, that's why I keep like reaching down. I'll be right back. Okay, so I bought a few Morphe lipsticks that I've been trying out. I don't know where the other one is. This is in the shade Forevs. It's a cream lipstick. This is just a really pretty pinky beigey nude, which I really like. And then when these are the Dose of Color Liquid Matte Lipsticks. These were a beauty steal online during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty, so I picked up a few shades of these. Oh my god, I can't talk. This one is in the shade Brick, which is a really nice burnt red. That one right there. I also picked up the shade Stone, which is a really pretty pinky nude. Right there, that one right here. And then I also picked up the shade Mondays, which is like a deep mauve-ish burgundy. Kind of reminds me of the shade Suck It from Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lipsticks. And I think that's the one I'm going to use today. I feel like that would probably go best with the look I just did. Yeah, we'll do that. I am going to line my lip. This is a product that's new to me. Not new, though, to the market. It's an Estee Lauder lip liner in the shade Mauve. I do really like this lip liner. I will say my favorite lip liners still are the Urban Decay. I can't talk. I quit. I do really like this lip liner. However, my favorite lip liner is still the lip liner from Urban Decay called Liar. That is still my favorite, which I need to restock on. I don't find these to be overly drying like a lot of liquid lipsticks. However, I also don't find that they stay on as long either. That's okay. Alright, I'm actually going to throw on just a little bit more bronzer. I don't know if it's just the lighting that I film in, but every time I film a video, I always feel like I need more bronzer. Okay, and that completes this look. Thank you for getting ready with me over 2 days now. So sorry if like the second half was kind of like, I tried to stay as energetic, but at the same time I was like, I've said all this already, but you guys didn't hear it. So I'm going to briefly go over everything that I used and just kind of give a quick little comment. And then that will be the end of the video. I basically just wanted to do a get ready with me, showing a bunch of products that I have been trying lately. Some I like, some I love, some I'm not crazy about. So the Revolution foundation I'm liking, not crazy about it, don't hate it. I'll definitely continue to use it. However, it's not taking the place of my Revlon Color Stay when it comes to favorite drugstore foundations. That is still my favorite. The Estee Lauder lip liner, powder, bronzer, and concealer I've really been enjoying. I really like the concealer, which is surprising. I believe I touched on it when I originally was filming that it does not have as much coverage as the Tarte Shape Tape by any means, but it does give a very smooth under eye. I've been loving the Bronze Goddess bronzer. I still like more of a contour with something like Hoola, but as an overall sun-kissed look, this is really nice. And I've been liking the Double Wear powder because I like a little extra coverage sometimes over my foundation. Sometimes I don't like just setting with a translucent. And you could use this on its own. I have not done that yet, but I feel like you get pretty decent coverage by itself. As you saw earlier when I touched on these, I don't know, this doesn't show up as much as I would like. I don't love it. I don't hate it. This I will still keep and use. It's not great. It's not terrible. This I don't love. The High Impact Highlighter in the shade Lit. It looks kind of muddy and very textured on me. So this I'm not a huge fan. The Boss Mood palette, I'm a little disappointed. Again, this does not look horrible. I got compliments when I wore it the other day. It's not a bad, patchy, unblendable palette by any means, but the pigment's just not really what I was expecting either. So I'm on the fence about this. First 2 times I used it, I was honestly thinking about returning it, but I don't know, after today I feel like this looks decent. I might play around with it a little bit more, but just off the bat, first couple times using it, not what I was expecting. Again, I think this looks beautiful, but I had a really hard time with this orange shimmer, and some of the mattes just don't build up like I was hoping. The It Brow Powder I love. I don't know about it being universal like I mentioned, but I do love this. The Climax Mascara from NARS I like. I'll continue to use it. I don't know if it's something I'll repurchase, but I do really like it. I get some volume, length, doesn't clump or flake on me, so I like this. The Pure Minerals Afterglow Highlighter, I really like this. I love this highlighter. The NYX liner I have been loving. Doesn't smear, smudge, anything like that. I've been loving that. Very long wearing. I've been really liking the Dose of Color liquid lipsticks. They are not over drying, but again, not as long wearing as Too Faced Melted Matte, Anastasia liquid lipsticks, or Stila liquid lipsticks. The Morphe cream lipsticks, they're just a basic cream lipstick. They're not supposed to be like a 12-hour wear or anything like that. So they are pretty. They feel comfortable on the lip. The Jaclyn Hill brushes, I do really like. My only problem with some of them, and I'm hoping that this will change the more I use them, and they kind of like fluff out a little bit. But I've used some of these quite a few times. I feel like the bristles are very long and narrow, and I kind of just wish they were a little shorter. I feel like I'd have a little bit more control. I feel that way about a couple brushes in the collection, but other than that, I've really been enjoying using them. I'm trying to look around if there's anything I forgot. I think that's pretty much everything. I just kind of like to give my last little thoughts at the end, just to kind of summarize. I gave my thoughts as I went though, so if I missed anything at the end, you guys will have already seen it. I just like to summarize. That is it for this video. Like I said, thank you for getting ready with me twice now, technically, at least for me. And yeah, I think that's it. You can subscribe to this video by clicking my little face. I always put it in the bubble. Or you can go down to the drop-down box, hit subscribe there like you do on everybody else's channel. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.